If you plan to buy a home using a VA home loan, you should know the VA's minimum property requirements, or MPRs. We're going to get started right now. Hi, I'm Tammy Foster with REMAX Liberty and the Veteran Homeowners Club, and today we are talking all things MPR and the VA loan. So just because you are eligible for VA financing, that does not mean that every property that you are interested in will meet the VA's requirements. The property has to meet certain minimum standards for the VA to approve the property. So let's start with heating and electricity. Homes with a wood-burning stove also need to have a backup system that can sustain a home temperature of 50 degrees. So why 50 degrees? 50 degrees is well above the freezing point, which can cause the pipes to burst or freeze over and cause flooding to the home. If you are considering a home with solar that heats the water and supplies heat to the living area, that also requires a backup conventional system to be connected to the grid. The VA requires a home to have electricity to every room for lighting and equipment. Okay, let's talk about water. The home is required to have a water heater and safe, potable drinking water. The home must also have a working septic system, whether that be connected to the public sewer or a individual septic system that is in working order. If it is an individual septic tank, it will require a septic certification. Homes that are on a community well system will require to provide that the community system is adequate for the size and the amount of homes in the area, as well that the water will continue to be delivered and for a reasonable cost going forward. Another property requirement would be the roof and the crawl space. So the roof must not leak, which is kind of common sense, but the VA also requires that there be a viable lifespan of the roof. A minimum of 5 years is a good rule of thumb. If there is question, they may require a roof certification. If the home has a crawl space, the crawl space does need to be accessible. It needs to be well ventilated and free from any moisture or any type of structural damage. That would also go same for any attic access. The VA does require a termite clearance. This will be separate from a home inspection and separate from the VA appraiser's inspection. Lead-based paint is another big item for VA loans. If you are looking at homes that were built prior to 1978, there is a very good chance that the VA appraiser will require some paint repairs. It is fairly common with older homes to have less than perfect paint, some chipping and peeling. These items will need to be repaired prior to closing. One aspect that is often overlooked is geographical location and characteristics of the surrounding area. If your home is located near a gas or petroleum pipeline easement, the property may not be eligible for VA financing. Likewise, there are restrictions against homes being too close to high voltage electrical lines. This does not refer to standard street lines, but to large high voltage transmission lines. Another question I often get asked is in regards to manufactured homes. Manufactured homes do require the same minimum property requirements as standard homes with a few additional requirements. The home must be on a permanent foundation, and in some geographical locations it may require some additional strapping. Most manufactured homes will require permanent skirting, which is continuous metal or wood enclosure around the foundation. So now you know a few of the major minimum property requirements for VA eligibility. I hope you learned something new today. I certainly do appreciate you spending part of your day with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to my channel for future videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.